Hello, I'm Peter Anderson and welcome to The Red Line. Today it's a video game review and I can already hear you screaming, what the hell does this guy know about video games? Well, first of all, rude. I used to be a video game reviewer. In fact, I did it for quite some time. So yes, I am in my second dream job. Thanks for asking. Anyway, today we're going to talk about Project Cars 2. Now, there's a little bit of history to this game. The first one, Project Cars, was the first big crowd-funded game that I could remember. I actually put in 50 euros of my own money to see how things would go. And it was really, really interesting. You got to play the game pretty much every day. They put up a new version and you could see how they went as they went through the development cycle. It was really, really cool. Not only that, the company shared the profits with those who'd invested. So it bought quite a few pizzas and some Thai, I believe. Anyway, Project Cars 2 came out 2 years later. Now, they'd crowdfunded it the first time round because they probably didn't want to work with Electronic Arts again, for whom they'd already made a couple of Need for Speed games. I don't know that for certain, but I wouldn't want to work with EA. Project Cars 2 was released in 2017 on PC, PlayStation 4 and the platform I'm playing on, Xbox One. You have 180 cars to choose from, 60 different locations and 130 track layouts, and that's before DLC, which there isn't much of, unusually. You will not get bored looking for places to race, from tarmac to ice to fully scanned racetracks like Bathurst, Monza or the Nürburgring, and there's fictional road races like California Highway. I like the fictional road races, they're very cool, they're like tarmac rallies. Project Cars 2 is huge. There are so many different ways into the game. You can just sit down, pick a car and off you go, and that's what I tried. It doesn't take long before you discover that this isn't the world's simplest racing game though. Now, maybe starting off with the McLaren F1 wasn't the greatest idea, and nor was choosing the California Highway street racing circuit the smartest choice, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. Let's be honest, I sucked at it. The McLaren is hugely powerful, and if you're not careful with it, it just gets away from you. I felt like I was driving on ice, but straight away you can see what a massive technical achievement this game is. The looks are breathtaking. Just look at the way the cars shine in the sunlight, look at all the right funky details. Even the interiors look incredible. I quite like this over the shoulder view, and of course in the McLaren it's quite a different view from other cars. So I dialed it back a bit and switched to a car I've driven in real life. What a wanker. Anyway, it's the supercharged V8 all-wheel drive Jaguar F-Type SVR. It was certainly less of a handful, but it was still hard. Listen to that V8 though. The sound design on this game is absolutely spot on. So I wound it back again and switched to a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo. Suddenly it started to make more sense. A bit less power, all-wheel drive grip, not so much speed. I started to work out how the controls worked and when to brake and when to accelerate. And again, just listen to the amazing sound. It's really, really impressive. When a racing game doesn't have good sound, it really, like the old Gran Turismo games, they just didn't get it right, but this nails it. There is a lot you need to know. One of the things I found really irritating was that in the career mode, the way the car was set up out of the box was miles away from where it needed to be. I don't know much about setting up a race car, so I had to go looking for help on the internet. I got it, but again, it's a big commitment. But the flip side of that is you have got so much racing to do, you can absolutely race and race and race and enjoy yourself for months. I love the massive variety of tracks and cars. You can race and crash Lotus F1 cars from the 60s, 70s and 80s, or you can drop into an online game where another player says you're driving at Spa. Awesome, that's a great track. In an Audi R8 LMS, beautiful. Manual, okay. At night, wow, that was hard, but it was so much fun. I had a really good time racing with them. And online racing is a great way to uncover the game's few problems, and for me, racing in manual with a controller was basically impossible because of the controller layout. Now maybe that's just because I'm a bit of an unco, but it's really hard to brake and downshift at the same time and not throw the car off the road. The other thing I found out is that the user interface can be a little bit confusing. But all the problems pale when you find a car you can just get in and go racing, like I did with these McLarens at another of my favourite tracks, Imola. This is when the game really started to gel with me and I got it. Yeah, I'd already loved the way it looked and the way it sounded, but I wasn't quite sure about the way it felt. But once I'd got the right car on the right track, it worked. and then it suddenly became my favourite game. Project Cars 2 is a massive behemoth of a game. There is so much to get your hands on. I reckon it's one of the best value games out there because there is so much play without even getting online. And then you've got that whole new dimension. You've got the career mode, you can do time trials. It's just endless. There's so much to do. There's a couple of things I don't like about it. It's a bit of a pain to use on the controller. You just need to have, well, you got to be better than me. I've got fat fingers and, you know, but it is really, really good with a wheel. You know, it's really hard to not sound like I'm gushing about this game, but it is really one of the best racing games ever made.